I wanted to talk a little bit about project number 3. To find project number 3, you are going to go to your modules and you're going to scroll down all the way down here, and it says project 3 perspective. All of the items associated with project 3 have 3 little stars in front of them. So here are some examples for the assignment. Click on the assignment and take a look at what it says. For project 3, you are divided into 2 groups, 4A and 4B. So for 4A, you're going to draw a place in or around your home that holds some personal significance for you. The place you choose must be a real-life place, of course, some place that you're familiar, so a bedroom, a hallway, it could be your front yard, whatever kind of scene you feel like depicting from your home. You are welcome to add fantastical components. You could add a cartoon character if you want. You don't have to. That's just, to give you the opportunity to have a little more fun with this. But basically, your goal is to show depth in using linear perspective. So, you can choose to do a 1-point, 2-point, or 3-point perspective, and by this point, you should understand how to take a photo in 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective, because you've probably already been through the modules, been through the lectures. So decide what kind of perspective you want to do. Obviously, the easiest one is 1 point. So if you're feeling insecure, 1 point might be your best bet. This is going to be a fully rendered perspective drawing, so you're going to add shadow to everything. And you can choose any material you want to draw it with, but I recommend something with a fine point so that you can create clean lines. And before you commit to ink or charcoal or anything that's really permanent, you want to make sure that the perspective you've achieved is accurate. So you're going to want to use a straight edge and sketch really lightly before committing to anything. I know you're all at home and you may not have access to the big paper, so I'm asking you to complete this drawing on at least an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but larger, better quality papers will get you more credit. You'll get, extra boost of points if you choose to take on that challenge. Your 3 ideas are due on April 8th, and that's when we're going to have our meeting, our one-on-one meeting. Here's a link to the 3 ideas. For 4B, you are going to do atmospheric perspective using color. So the assignment is pretty similar, but in your case, you want to take the photo outside, or basically you're drawing a scene from outside. So it has to incorporate nature. So it could be around your house, but it needs to include the horizon. So you need to be able to see nature, and you need to be able to see far off into the distance for your photos. And you're welcome to sit outside and draw, but of course I think a photo is the way that you're going to show me what your idea is. So let's go to the 3 ideas. These are the same link. So this is where you're going to submit your 3 ideas, and it tells you the difference between 4A and 4B, but the ideas will consist of 3 photos of places in or around your home. Okay, so let's go back to modules and go back to the perspective project, and you'll see here that there are some examples of previous perspective assignments. These were all 4A assignments, but let me go ahead and show you these examples. We have some examples of perspective projects people have done in the past. This was a hallway at Yuba College, right near the arts classroom. But since we are not going to be on campus, you are going to draw a place that is near you, so somewhere in your home. Here we have another hallway. This was done by Braden. This is 2-point perspective, whereas this is 1-point perspective. 2-point perspective. This is Luz's drawing of the courtyard in 1 point perspective. She is facing the wall here, so that's what makes it 1 point. This is a drawing from a student at Yuba College who drew a place that was important to her in 2 point perspective. See how she's facing the corner. This is a 1 point perspective of Zing Hall at Chico State. I love how there's so much detail going on. The student used charcoal and pencil to fully render the piece and make it look really, give it a lot of depth. Here we have another Chico State drawing of a hallway. It's not quite finished in the background. You can't quite tell what's going on there, but it does show depth. Here we have someone who drew a place that was significant to them, some type of yard. This is a 1 point perspective. You can see the side of the building here, but the one vanishing point is right about there. So you can see how they decorated the tree to look really nice, and this hose looks great. Here we have a 2 point perspective drawing of Zing Hall at Chico State. The lines here are a little wobbly, falling off to the side. The person who drew this really needed to be using a ruler for all of these lines to make it look good. But the general concept is there and it's fully rendered. Here we have a hallway. This is a banister. Not fully rendered. The drawing looks somewhat unfinished, but this part looks great. This part that is rendered looks really good. This was done by a student at Yuba last semester. This is actually a 3 point perspective. And we'll get into what that means, but when you look up at a building, it is often in 3 point perspective. And this is downtown Marysville, also drawn by a student at Yuba College last semester. She's just looking straight down the road. I mean, that's something you could do too. If you're at home, you could just take a picture looking straight down your road, if that's something that interests you. So those are some examples of things students have done in the past, and hopefully they inspire you to draw something that's important to you and fully render it. This PowerPoint is available to you in the modules, so look out for it there.